Good evening. Good evening. Let's continue with this humanology thingy. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, let's continue with this stuff. Let's see. How about that? Oh. Yeah, I totally overslept. Took a very long nap. Well, that's what Sunday's for, right? So, okay. So we got this down. Okay, now. So you have feelings equation, right? Next, we'll explore this memory distance concept in humanology. Okay, so it's memory distance. Okay, so or perception distance. Okay, and so once we got the distance concept down, we're gonna divide this guy with the distance in order to come up with this emotion equation. This is feelings equation, and just arbitrary names. Okay, emotion equation. Yeah, that's feelings divided by distance. Okay, just like in the gravitation formula by Newton. Okay, looks quite similar. Okay. All right. So memory distance, perception distance. It's like this. There's time, and there's your memory. There's your function. Y is called e to the x. Okay, here's 1, 0. Okay. So memory distance d is defined as, so it's integral. Okay. So uh, period 1 period 1 period 2 dot 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 and so on. Okay, and we call it this initial point. Yeah, we call it P1 P2. Okay, and here beginning and ending. Okay, so P1A, so this is interval defined as P1A to P1B. Okay, so that's the interval. So memory distance I explain in detail later. Okay, let's just define this. Okay, so integral e to the x dt when t is from pi a to pi b, and then you have this integral. Okay, then you have sigma I from 1 to n. Okay, That's memory time distance. Alright. Ah. Wait a minute. That's memory time. I'm sorry. Memory time, okay? We call it perception time or memory time. We just call it T, okay? And distance is 1 over this memory time. Meaning, if somebody's image reside inside of your memory, perception memory, because you read about that person, because this person is celebrity, or if this person is your colleague or your classmate, your neighbor or your family member, then yeah, that person's image, voice, ideas register in your memory. Okay, so and memory lapses as time goes by. Okay, so way back in the past, it's kind of get hazy, right? Because you forget about them. Why do people forget about things? Because recent memory replaces past memories. Okay, so that's why you forget. Okay, it's overwritten. It gets overwritten. Okay, so but yeah, so very long time in the past doesn't really affect you very much. So this kind of counter to psychology theory, where the Freudian theory, where your childhood experience determines what you do today. We dispute that. Okay, so psychology, many theories in psychology is false. Okay, what can I tell you? All right, so this is not psychology; it's humanology. All right, we are fundamentally different from psychology's approach. All right, so though we appreciate psychologists and psychiatrists because they're trying to help people, right? But many times they need to learn humanology. They need to learn from us so that they can help people better. All right, so okay. So why do we choose this y equal e to the x? Because, well, first of all, it's easy to integrate. Well, let's go ahead. That's e to the x, integrate e to the x. So this is just what? E to the pib minus e to the pia, which we cannot further simplify. So let's go ahead and expand this, okay? So I haven't done it before. Eh, whatever. So, yeah, it models the degradation of memory over time. All right, so if something happened very long time ago, it doesn't really have influence upon you because you forget about it. Okay, so we disagree with Dr. Sigmund Freud. All right, so what happens in your childhood pretty much stays in your childhood. Okay, it doesn't really affect you magically like 10 years later. It doesn't. Okay, we don't believe in that nonsense. Okay, childhood trauma, blah blah, childhood experience. It doesn't have affect you at all because it got displaced, replaced by your recent experiences. All right, so it's Mr. Sigmund Freud. We have to disagree with him. All right, I'm sorry. Okay, if you're a huge fan of Dr. Freud, uh, I have nothing else to tell you. All right, all his theory of subconsciousness, there is no such a thing as subconsciousness. There are memories. Our brain is like computer, right? You have short-term memory, long-term memory. Short-term memory is like your RAM, random access memory. Long-term memory is like hard disk, magnetic based. Short-term memory is more like electronic, right? Yeah. And we are against marijuana consumption or CBD, hemp, all that stuff. We are against all of it, every single one of it. Why? Because it hurts your short-term memory. And without short-term memory, you cannot have long-term memory. So yeah, learning disability. You cannot learn anything new. That's why we oppose every single marijuana-based hemp, marijuana, CBD, you name it. Yeah, we are against every single one of it. Okay, so what can I tell you? Okay, so all right. So this is a model of memory degradation. Okay, even if you used to have this your childhood friend that you spent a lot of time with such a long time ago, uh, you don't quite feel close to that childhood friend anymore. Why? Because it's been such a long time and you lost touch with contact with the childhood friend. But so that's the concept of distance. All right. So uh, if you spend a lot of time thinking about this person, maybe your brand new date, you're a boy, right? Guy, man, most likely, right? If you're here, unless you Google YouTube employee, unless you have to be here, okay. But if you are here because you want to be here, most likely you're a guy, you're a man, right? So, what you have brand new boy? I'm sorry, brand new girlfriend. Your brand new girlfriend, you think about her all the time, right? So, recently, and you think about her all the time. Quite recently, you just met her, went out to first date like last weekend, and so you write love poems to this lady, whatever, right? You think about it all the time, right? So, and quite recently, like this morning, yesterday, oh, I was thinking about this wonderful lady I met, blah blah blah, right? Memory, big memory time, okay, about that person. Uh, so we gotta put one more variable here. Time alpha, thinking about beta. Okay, so that's that. It's spell of time, period of time that you spend. Think alpha is spending thinking about beta. So I guess we just include alpha beta here. Okay. All right. So that's the distance from alpha to beta, time alpha beta. So If alpha is spending a lot of time thinking about beta quite recently, then the distance is very short. It's very close. You, your girlfriend, and something important. This is not the same as distance from beta to alpha. Maybe beta, your new girlfriend, maybe don't think about you very much. Maybe she has children. She's divorcee, but she got kids. So beta, the lady you are dating, is not quite thinking about you as much as you think about her because she got kids. Alright, so they are not the same. This distance function is not commutative. Okay? But you, alpha, you think about your girlfriend beta all the time. So to you, alpha, uh, beta feels so close. You think about her all the time. So that's memory time concept. Okay, we'll take 5 minutes break. All right, so. All right. Uh, so yeah, there's no such a thing as subconsciousness. Okay, it's just works of a man, imagination of a man. Okay, there's no such a thing as subconsciousness. Uh, so Mr. Sigmund Freud, he was wrong on many accounts. One of his famous theory, like Oedipus complex, that's also works of a man. Okay, it this guy is naughty, to put it lightly. Okay, to put it gently. Mr. Sigmund Freud, Mr. Dr. Sigmund Freud, okay, the father of psychology, right? Oh boy, he was naughty, okay? He was naughty boy, okay? He was naughty, scandalous, alright? Come on. So the interaction between children and their parents is not. There's nothing sexual about it. Okay. Scandalous. Come on. He's accusing the humanity of incest. Come on, incestuous. No, interaction between parents and children. There's nothing sexual about it. Okay, so Mr. Dr. Sigmund Freud was wrong. Come on. So where did he err? He, I mean, he's not very mathematically minded person. He's not very logical. Okay, he didn't know too much about mathematics or logic, let alone set theory. Okay, he knew nothing about it. So he confused. He was confused. He misunderstood the subset superset relationship. Okay, so that's where he erred. We don't have too much room left here, so but we'll go over it briefly. Okay. Uh, so the tactile pleasure of touching, that's a superset. Tactile pleasure set. Okay. Affection, right? You pet your pet, your dog, your cat. It feels good, right? A hairy, furry animal, right? How about this? This it feels so snuggly, cozy. So why do we feel pleasure when we have this furry blanket like snuggly? Back in the days, they have this advertisement, right? Snuggle. Ah, it feels good because it's good for us, evolutionarily speaking. Warmth. It's good insulator. Why? Because air is a very good insulator. Okay? So if there's this fur, hairy stuff, it's very good insulator because it contains a lot of air pocket. It keeps us warm. It insulates our body temperature, which is good for us. It prevents loss of heat energy. That's why we like this feeling of this furry blanket or pet. Yeah. It has nothing to do with sexuality at all. Okay, it's about evolutionary design. Okay, it's evolutionary pleasure and pain. Yeah, it has to do with evolution. Okay, all have evolutionary origin. It's about survival. It's about preserving energy. Sometimes yes, their production, but not always. Okay, so uh, the pleasure of touching. Okay, yeah, it's about conservation of energy, heat, prevention of loss of heat. Okay, so that's one aspect. Okay, so tactile pleasure, pleasure of touching. Yeah, one of it is about temperature, body temperature. Okay. Another is, yeah, parental, parent-child interaction. Children, they are asexual. They are not sexual at all because they are prepubescent. Okay, they have no idea why adults kiss, let alone coitus. When I was a child, I was like disgusted watching these movies. Just American movie as a growing up child, like 7 year olds, 10 year old boy. I was like, why do adults kiss? What's that about? And one of our teachers in Korean literature, when I was like, how old was I? 12, 13, something like that. He talked about this Korean vocabulary, 각선미. It means leg line beauty, 각선미. Okay, the beauty of female legs. I had no idea what he was talking about. Female legs, legs of women. What about it? I had no idea what he was talking about. Okay, so he was just talking about this vocabulary, 각선미, in Korean language. I had no idea what about women's legs? Why is it so beautiful? I didn't understand. Why? Because I was prepubescent. Later on, yeah, I came to understand because I became an adult. Post-pubescent, okay. Yeah, but before that, I had no idea why men and women, why do they kiss? Why do they go into bedroom together? I was like, ew, what's that about? When I was a boy, okay. I didn't understand at all, okay. Because I was asexual, okay. Children, they are not sexual at all, okay. So, but they love being hugged by their parents. Why? Again, evolutionary design. Okay, it enhances the chance of survival. Young animals sticking to their mothers, fathers to be safe. Parents, same way. It's by evolution. It that tactile pleasure gene between parent and child, it gives them evolutionary advantage, survival. It enhances the chances of survival. Okay? Of course, and then there's sexuality, right? Yeah, man and woman. They're both single, well, maybe they're married to each other. Yeah, so it's like this, okay? I explained this in length in my paper, The Law of Anti-Gayism, okay? So it's like this, okay? Scissors to cut piece of paper. I use scissors when I cut meat. Same tool, scissors, you can cut meat when you cook. You can cut meat or you can cut paper. One tool, two different purposes, two different usage. So, Mr. Dr. Freud's theory that everything is sexual, like a man smoking cigar, that is sexual, and the interaction between child and parents, snuggling, hugging, that's also sexual. So that's as absurd as saying just because one tool, scissors, can be used for cutting meat and cutting paper, therefore meat is equal to paper. So it's as absurd as that. right? Tactile pleasure is a superset, it's not a subset of sexuality. So he confused the subset superset relationship. He thought sexuality is all encompassing superset, and everything else is a subset of the sexuality superset. And that's not the case. Sexuality is subset, not a superset. Okay? Tactile pleasure, that's one tool. It's like a Swiss Army knife multi-purpose tool. All right, it's used for this body temperature preservation and parent-child interaction, affection, and man and woman sexuality. Tactile pleasure, okay, pleasure of touching, is one scissors, one tool that gets used for all these different purposes. Why? Because evolution favors efficiency. Tactile pleasure, one tool gets used for many different purposes to encourage a certain behavior that has evolutionary advantage. So one tool using for many different purposes. One scissors, one pair of scissors used to cut meat, paper, and other things. Okay? Because evolution favors efficiency. Okay? There's no such a thing as Oedipus complex. It's just his imagination. Well, he was addicted to some kind of like cocaine or something, heroin, or he was using some illegal drugs, right? I mean, I use tobacco and alcohol, okay? So, but obviously, apparently, all those illegal drugs, obviously, they are no good. I mean, the Beatles, yeah, they used what? LSD, Lucy in the Sky, with diamonds, LSD, right? Yeah, they used drugs, right? The Beatles. They wrote good music though, but Mr. Dr. Sigmund Freud, he used illegal drugs and all the theories that came up with like interpretation of dream. There's no such a thing as interpretation of dream. What this tip of iceberg, subconscious? There's no such a thing as tip of iceberg, subconsciousness. Oedipus complex, there's no such thing as Oedipus complex. It's all works of man, all works of imagination, drug induced, fantasy. I mean, he didn't intend anything bad, it's just that he was wrong. Just like Mr. Einstein, just like Mr. Karl Marx. Yeah, three of them. Mr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Sigmund Freud, Mr. Karl Marx, yeah, they are all European Jews, and they're all wrong. Okay, Mr. Herr Georg Cantor, he was also a Jewish guy, and he was partially wrong. Aleph Noel, the cardinality concept, he asked the right question though. Okay, but he was partially wrong. All right, but so yeah, European Jews many times they get exaggerated, they overrated. Uh, I'm just pointing that out. I'm not anti-Semitic. Okay, some of my closest friends are Jews. Okay, I'm not anti-Semitic. What I'm saying is, European Jewish scholars sometimes they get overrated greatly. Okay, yeah. I like Spinoza, Baruch Spinoza. Yeah, he's also a European Jewish philosopher, but I like him a lot. Okay, and I think he had many good ideas. I don't think he was overrated. Perhaps he was underrated. Okay, so I'm not anti-Semitic. Okay, so I'm just pointing out that Dr. Sigmund Freud was wrong. Okay, and so was Mr. Albert Einstein. So was Mr. Karl Marx. They are all wrong. Okay, we'll talk about Mr. Karl Marx later. Okay, so we'll take 5 minutes break because we need to continue with this time and distance relationship. They're inversely proportional. Okay, time and distance inversely proportional to each other. Okay, time and distance appear in one equation. Okay, so there we go. We'll take 5 minutes. Oh boy. I mean, let's give him some love, okay? Dr. Sigmund Freud. One thing I like about him, he liked a person I really like. Yeah, Herr Arthur Schopenhauer. I'm a huge fan, okay? And Mr. Sigmund Freud, he liked Schopenhauer too. So, but other than that, psychoanalysis, it sounds so horrible. I mean, psychoanalysis, I mean, it just sounds so negative, you know? So psychology, they should rename themselves to humanology, okay? Seriously, okay. Come on, it just doesn't sound good. Sounds so negative, like psychotic, psychopathic. Psychological. It has some negative connotation there, right? So yeah, they should rename themselves as Department of Humanology. Okay, there's no such a thing as psychoanalysis. There's no such a thing as interpretation of dream. It's all works of man. Okay, so it's all wrong theories. Okay, so dinosaur. All right, it's big but extinct. All right, so it's no longer relevant. Why? Because we are substitute, replacement, humanology. Okay, so there will come a day, humanology will replace psychology. Okay, yes, this humanology will. Okay, so there will be my prediction. Okay, so we are witnessing history in the making. Okay, so this is something very important. Okay, by far more important than Goldbach's conjecture proof. We get back there. Why? Because it's very difficult problem to solve. But we put it in the back burner because it's very difficult problem to solve. Okay, but this is more important. Okay, so easier though, by far easier. Okay, how about Mr. Karl Marx? I mean, he got some ideas right. Okay, yeah, this communal property, communism. Well, that's partially correct because that's what we, even America, ended up doing. We're talking about taxation, big pool of money, redistribution of wealth. Yeah, we're talking about insurance premium or banks, big pool of money, pension fund, retirement account, IRA, or any big pool of money. That's community property. Why? Because it gets reinvested through business loans and personal loan, home loan, car loan. It's come from banks and insurance company money, tax money. Okay, all big pool of money. Yeah, that's communal property, just like in communism. I make about just about average America salary. Okay, and where all my money go, mortgage, insurance, premium, tax, or after all those bills, I get to eat, yeah, vodka, cigarette, then I got nothing left. Paycheck to paycheck, okay, so average American salary, okay, so. But there's some exceptions. No, not really. How about celebrities? Okay, they make a lot of money, right? Uh, or how about Mr. Bill Gates or Mr. Jeff Bezos or Mr. Mark Zuckerberg, whatever. Okay, but it's a fair deal because Mr. Bill Gates, okay, yeah, Microsoft operating system, uh, yeah, Mr. Steve Jobs, iPhone, Macintosh, we do not feel bad about purchasing their products because Macintosh, Microsoft, those are the products we are willing to purchase with our own money because or Amazon.com, Facebook.com, where Facebook we don't quite pay, where we pay with advertisement, which is kind of like taxation. Okay, so okay, whenever we pay some products from Walmart, yeah, some of the money goes to advertisement of those companies who produce those products, and those advertisement money that we pay partially, it goes to Facebook. But we like Facebook, so we don't mind paying for them, all right? Or Google or YouTube or yeah, they're fantastic products, right? So yeah, so concentration of wealth, but it does get distributed right back to us. Okay, so it's kind of like communal property, communism, okay? Because I mean Google is free, right? So yeah, we indirectly pay for them, but we don't mind because they provide fantastic products, right? Yeah. And yeah, the exploitation of labor, yeah, it was a big problem back then during the time of Mr. Karl Marx. So yeah, we have labor union even in America. Who is not a big fan of communism? America is not big fan of communism on face, but we do a lot of things that are very much communistic. Taxation, social security, insurance, big pool of money, communal property. Okay, so it's like half and half. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So celebrities. I mean, I purchased like back in the days CD of the Beautiful South, the Beatles. The Beatles, I bought it in cassette tapes. Okay, so Beautiful South I did buy in cassette tapes and CDs. Late 1990s in Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, so I didn't mind paying for the Beatles, the Beautiful South. No, I didn't mind at all because I'm a huge fan. So they get rich. Why? It's kind of like taxation. Okay, they're huge fan base. Yeah, CD. How much was it? What $10 back then? I don't know. Album, $10. So and out of $10, how much of this $10, if I purchase CD of the Beautiful South, probably they will get like $1, if that, right? The $10 money, 90% of them go to employees of this recording company, shipment, electricity for these recording stores, right? Their employees and shipping, trucks, the cost of material to make manufacture this CD, studio executives or their salary or recording the sound engineers and so many people involved to make this one product. But because Beautiful South has international huge fan base, $1 per CD trickles in and they become very rich. Like it's like any other companies. So celebrity, they are kind of like corporation, okay, or like even a government because they have a lot of power, money, power, fame, right? Just like big government, celebrities, big corporation, they work the same way. It's based on taxation concept. $1 per each. If there's 1 million people paying $1 tax, this person become a millionaire. Okay, so it's taxation concept. Yeah, food pyramid. You have this apex on top. That's the concentration of wealth. Food pyramid. Okay, and this kind of hierarchy, triangular hierarchy, it's something very natural. So, and Mr. Karl Marx tried to defy that law of nature. The food chain, food hierarchy, you have carnivores, very few, then herbivores, a lot, and plants, oh, a lot more than number. Okay, so it is food pyramid. Human world works the same way. Okay, yeah, apex predators. Okay, we are talking about celebrities, CEOs, presidents. They are on top of the food chain. I'm not saying they are predatory people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, yeah, it, human world mirrors biological world. You have air, water, object level in abundance. Then there are plants, and then there are herbivores, and there are carnivores, and there are Homo sapiens. Okay, the food hierarchy, echelons. It's law of nature. That's just how it works in nature. Okay, so That's why communism just doesn't work. Okay, so there's no such a thing as communism. Okay, so at the same time, yeah, that concept communal property is everywhere too. Okay, even in America, social security, taxation, insurance money, yeah, it's communal property. Even big corporation, yeah, even celebrities. Okay, because they put all their money in the bank, and that bank money get reinvested to business loan, personal loan, home loan, car loan. So it gets celebrity. Okay, they put their money in the bank, they get reinvested to our car loan, personal loan, home loan. Okay, so by and large, yeah, modern economy is kind of like Marxian. So Mr. Karl Marx is partially right, partially wrong. Okay, let's leave it at that. Just to be fair. But Mr. Sigmund Freud, his theory about at least 90% is wrong. Okay, Mr. Albert Einstein, about 10% of his theory was correct. Like Brownian motion is a statistical study, and photoelectric effect, those are correct. But his general and special relativity is wrong. They're both wrong. Okay, we disprove both of them. Disproving something is a lot easier than proving something. Why? Because you just need one counterexample, and then you're done. All right, and we did that. Plus, we'll redo it because it's kind of important. Okay, so yeah. Okay. So we got the humanological distance. Okay, so a lot of time you alpha spend on beta, thinking about beta, your brand new girlfriend. Okay, as a man, a lot of time, very small distance. You feel very close to that brand new girlfriend of yours because you think about her all the time. Okay, so recently, she's your current girlfriend, not ex girlfriend of long time ago. Okay, so yeah, or maybe your brand new girlfriend is used to be your ex girlfriend. Okay, whatever. All right, or your classmate, roommate, whether you like that person or not, your family member, your colleague, coworker, or your neighbor. Okay, you don't think about them, but you watch them often. You hear their voices, you watch them. So distance, memory distance is very small because that person's image, sound image, visual image register in your memory. You see them all the time. Or celebrities, you read about them, you see them on TV or cell phone, or they are always in the news, and so yeah, distance from you and your celebrity, whether you like them or not, yeah, distance is very small because that person's image, voice, ideas registers in your memory quite often, quite recently. Okay, so that's why distance and time they're inversely proportional. If you don't think about this person very much at all, yeah, long distance. Yeah, memory degradation. Okay, long time ago, even if you used to think about that person a lot, if it's long time ago, then small time, memory time, big distance. They're far away. in time. So that's the relationship between time and space. Distance, time. Time and space. Okay? We'll take 5 minutes break and we'll talk more about time and distance. I mean, time and space. Okay? What's their relationship? Because it's kind of important. Okay? Philosophically and also scientifically, and also in humanology a little bit. And we'll talk about dimensionality too. Okay. All right. Again, welcome to humanology. Okay, so you are in a very good place to learn. Okay, so it's good stuff. Okay, so all right, all right. Ah boy. Uh, I'm kind of metaphysically predatory. Okay. Because I go after big figures. Metaphysically. Okay. I mean, we are law-abiding citizens. We are pacifists. But when it comes to criticism, critics, yeah, I'm rather predatory because I go after big figures like Mr. Einstein and Mr. Monsieur Poincaré, okay, and Minkowski space, Lorentz transformation. They use what imaginary number I, to combine time and space. It's all works of man, okay. There's no such a thing as space time. There's no such a thing as Lorentz transformation or what Poincaré Einstein synchronization method. It's all works of man, okay. So it do, there are big figures in mathematics and physics, but it doesn't carry any weight to us. Why? Because no matter how famous they may be, if they are wrong, they are wrong. Actually, the bigger figure they are, the better. Why? Because it's like this, okay? In Alaska, we have Alaska natives who are fantastic people, amazing culture. They are legally allowed to hunt whales, subsistence living, like hunter gatherer, right? So they kill a whale, and they haul it to the shore, party time, right? Everybody in the village come and take a piece of meat, whale meat. I never had one, okay, but I saw on uh, YouTube documentary, okay, so yeah, so yeah, so we don't commit any violence or crime, but we metaphysically speaking, yeah, we go after big figures. Okay, yeah, we disprove their theories. We just did a moment ago. Yeah, Mr. Freud. Okay, yeah. I mean, he's not fraud. All right, I wouldn't call him a crook or con man. I wouldn't call it that, but he was mistaken. Okay, he didn't intend to misguide people. He did his best. It's just he was just a human being, so he made some errors. Well, in his case, a lot of errors. Okay, so President Trump. Okay, his favorite subject to editorial cartoonists, of whom I'm a huge fan. Editorial cartoonists making fun of President Trump. I'm a huge fan. Okay, they make fun of his hair, right? And I was inspired by this editorial cartoonists making fun of President Trump's hair. So that's what I do. Yeah, I have balding spot. I cover it up like this. Okay, so yeah. Whatever. Okay, we talk about dimensionality. So you got this time space relationship, right? Inversely proportional. All right. All right. Let me take a picture of this. Okay, so it's kind of important. Then we will erase it. We'll talk about dimensionality, okay, and then the relationship between space and time. Okay, so you asked the right question, right? What's the relationship between space and time? Okay, but they didn't got the answer right, so we will. Okay, but they asked the right question, and they should get some credit for that. But they didn't get the answer right. Who's they? Yeah, we talk about Herr Lorentz, whatever nationality he is. Mr. Lorentz, Mr. Albert Einstein, Mr. Minkowski, Gospodin Minkowski is the kind of Russian name, and Mr. Musil Poincaré. Okay, they all got it wrong. Okay, so yeah, they're dinosaurs, all right. Because we're gonna replace them. Okay, so dimensionality. Okay, zeroth dimension dot, and if you juxtapose dots, it becomes a line. Okay, so you have dot zero dimension, fourth dimension, yeah, dot 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 dot. Okay, line. All right. Second dimension, line on top of each other, a plane. Okay. Third dimension, you put plane together, it becomes a cube. Like slices of breads or slices of cheese become a cube. Okay? You have dotted line, and then you have multiple lines becomes a plane, multiple planes becomes a cube. So this dimensionality. How about fourth dimension? How about fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension? Okay, can you visualize it? Can you? If not, I can help you. I'm not a doctor, okay, but I can help you. I wouldn't call myself a philosopher because that kind of sounds strange, right? Some people call themselves a philosopher. That kind of sound arrogant, okay? Come on, you call yourself a philosopher? Uh, Maybe you are a philosopher professor, professor in philosophy. Maybe you're a PhD, yeah, doctor, philosophy, whatever, okay? But it just doesn't sound right, okay? People call themselves a philosopher. Nah. It's like, it's kind of anachronistic a little bit, okay? If somebody called themselves a prophet, that sounds a little bit weird, right? Yeah. I mean, you can call yourself a scholar, right? Academic, but anyways. So what's fourth dimension? Why don't you think about that? Hmm? What does it mean to have fourth dimension? Hint: think about flicks, films. Yes, motion pictures. You get it? See where we are going? What we are getting at? Think about that, okay? Uh, I give you 5 minutes. Alright. Okay. Okay. It's very nice time of the year, spring. So water dripping out of this snow on the rooftop. So this eavesdropping drip, 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 and it makes this pool of clear water, snow melt water in my yard. And I washed my face on that 10 minutes ago, and it's so refreshing. Okay. So yeah, it's motion picture concept. Yes, it's space and time. Okay. Motion picture. Okay. It's yes, it's planar. The roll, film roll. Okay. It's two dimensional. I get it, but you have this cog wheel, right? These holes. Film roll. You have 8 millimeter, what, 60 millimeter, 35 millimeter, whatever, right? Motion picture, okay. Yeah, they have this wheel, okay. Yeah, like cartoon, okay. So television or your laptop, your iPhone, tablet, you watch a movie. It's two-dimensional space, but we perceive this three-dimensional world. You take a picture, right? Yeah, camera movie is nothing but just picture, motion picture. Okay, so yeah, they use silver. That's why film is very expensive. They use some silver chemical. Okay, some silver oxide or something like that. Okay, so yeah, film is very expensive. Okay, this motion picture. Yeah, and nowadays they use digital camera. It came a long way. Okay, because it's like you have this red one or red camera. Okay, so high quality professional digital technology came a long way. Okay, because video, digital video, it wasn't as good as silver based color film. Okay, or black and white film. Okay, yeah, it wasn't uh, video. It's kind of like flat, right? Not very good color quality, but they came a long way. So nowadays, yeah, digital camera they are very high quality. Okay, yeah, 24 frame per second, right? 24p whatever. And Panasonic, they're quasi professional, semi professional, what's it, DVX or something. That's the camera I used to make my movie, and it kind of imitates the 24 frame per second. Okay, it kind of look dreamy, you know. Yeah, they came a long way. Okay, so huge storage, digital film. Okay, this humanology series is like 3 hours long. It's like 10 gigabyte because it's picture on top of picture. So they should do better. Okay, if the background is not moving, so they should come up with some algorithm to compact that. If this background is repeating itself because it's not moving, and then they should just let it, just save it as one and then replay it. They should come up with some nice algorithm. They should. I'm not sure if they are doing it already. Okay, to make this video data more compact, efficient, right? If it's repeating itself because it's not moving, okay? They should do that, okay? So, just giving you some ideas, okay? Now, uh, so that's fourth dimension, okay, in time, okay? There's a time axis. Okay. So fourth dimension is the world as we know, or a movie. Okay. You have three-dimensional world moving in time. So that's fourth dimension. Three-dimensional object moving in time axis. The human world, the universe, the history. Yeah. And time axis is that. It's that's the time axis. Okay, so it's the fourth axis on top of XYZ. Okay, so that's the right way to think about fourth dimension and time as a kind of like spatial axis. But time is different from XYZ because it's unidirectional. Time does not go back. Alright? And yeah, Mr. Einstein was wrong. Speed of time is constant. It's the speed of light that is not constant. Okay, so there's nothing special about speed of light. I'm sorry. Okay, what can I tell you? Okay, so time does not slow down. It does not fast up, speed up. No, speed of time is constant. Okay, so why? And there's no such thing as time dilation, length contraction. There's no such a thing. It's all works of man. Just imagination, misguided thoughts. Yes, by your boyhood hero, Mr. Einstein. Okay, he was wrong. All right, so he was my hero too. Okay, until I realized, until I disproved him. Okay, so all right. Well, we disproved him. Okay, yeah, we did it together. Okay, so now, yeah, the three-dimensional world in time. That's fourth dimension. Okay. Yeah. Cube, three-dimensional object on top of each other, like in a motion picture or holographic, 3D movie, whatever. Okay. Yeah, that's what this world is, and that's fourth dimension. Now, what's fifth dimension then? Hint: Twilight Zone series. Because Mr. Sterling talked about it as an introduction to his episode. There are different versions of this Twilight Zone introduction, but one uh, introduction he talks about fifth dimension. Okay, and he was very smart. Okay, so what's fifth dimension? Well, fourth dimension, it's just this cube traveling in time. Okay, so this like world, universe, or world as we know of. Okay, history. That's fourth dimension. Okay, now what's fifth dimension then? Now, before you answer that question, let's talk about this. Is there something like destiny, fate? Is the history of the universe already written by God? Because according to Mr. Jesus, God can time travel. Okay? He can foresee the future. Only God. That's what Jesus said. Destiny, fate. Is history of the universe already pre-written, pre-fixed? It's a philosophical question, right? What do you think? Huh? Yeah, inadvertently we find ourselves to be in this dimensionology, study of dimensions. Okay, it's scientific, mathematical, and philosophical. perhaps also religious. Alright. It's something we think about in humanology as a pastime for intellectual entertainment's sake. Alright. Recreational philosophy. Alright. So we'll take 5 minutes break, okay? And I'm gonna grab my red wine, which is fantastic Italian, Californian, American wine, and I really like that. So we'll take 5 minutes and I'll start drinking some dry red wine, okay? So yeah, think about fifth dimension, what it means, okay? Alright. So I have made friends, okay? I talk about this to my friends, and yeah, they're co-contributors. They're good listeners, my friends, and like a sounding board, resonance box, helper, okay? Yeah, my friends, okay? So they're co-contributors, okay? So being a good listener, being good listeners, okay? So the co-contributors, okay? So you too, okay? We are doing this together, all right? So, yeah, it's a collective effort for the advancement of knowledge. All right, that's what humanology is about. Okay, okay, fifth dimension. Yeah, it's the world of imagination. So Mr. Rothstein was right on that. I mean, he doesn't know too much mathematics, science, logic. He's more like English major. Good writers, a good, very excellent writer. Okay, all right, beautiful sentences. Maybe by accident, coincidence, or maybe some insight. I don't know, but he got it right under that. Fifth dimension is world of imagination. Why? Because fourth dimension is the history of the universe, the world as we know. Okay? Three dimensional time, I mean, three dimensional space going through time, motion picture, okay? So that's the fourth dimension. We are adding time axis on top of XYZ. It's collection of cubes. One cube, second cube, third cube, okay? That's fourth dimension. Okay? Fifth dimension is this. Yeah, it's world of novels. Yes, alternative universe in your imagination. Novelists, writers, fiction writers. Because how many writers are there? How many people are there who imagine things? Alternative course of history, writing, or some possibility of future. What will happen? What may happen? Alternatives. Many. One person can write many stories. What could have happened? Alternative history. And what may happen in the future. So we are adding world on top of worlds, alternative universes. That's fifth dimension. Okay? A writer may write many books. Okay? They may imagine things about the past, about the future. Okay? One writer can think of many different universes. So that's fifth dimension. One person's wild imagination. Alternative universes conceived by one person. Now, what's sixth dimension? I'm trying to broaden your horizon. Okay? Then what's sixth dimension? Give me some time? I'll give you some time. So fifth dimension is alternative universe imagined by one person, okay? I'm kind of giving it away, right? Then what's sixth dimension? Come on. Think about it. Just giving it away, man. Lady. Let me grab a beer too. All right, let's get some wine. Love this wine. It's a very good wine. Okay, I got it as a Christmas gift. The previous wine bottle also I got it as Christmas gift. Okay, so that one was good too. Okay. You got it? Sixth dimension? Yeah. One person's alternative universes. Okay, that's fifth dimension. One writer. Okay, so what's sixth dimension? Yeah, many different writers, each of whom have published, written many different novels. So, sixth dimension is like a writers' club. Okay, it's like many people, each of whom have multiple alternative universes when they write novels, when they just imagine things. So that's sixth dimension. Is a collection of imaginations of all people that ever existed, still existing, and that will exist in the future. Past, present, future, everybody combined. And their collective imaginations. That's sixth dimension. How about seventh dimension? It's like 7-7, right? So what's seventh dimension? Why don't you think about that? It doesn't get higher than that, okay? So at least not here, okay? So that's where it kind of borders on theology, religion, okay? So Think about seventh dimension, what it means, what it could mean. Just be logical about it. Kind of reminds me, Saint Paul said, I know this young man who been brought up to 7-7 whatever, right? And then came back. He kind of talked about that in New Testament, right? I know Bible inside and out, okay, like back of my hand, all right? I read cover to cover 3 times, all right? So what's seventh dimension? It's imagination of God, God's imagination, okay? Not God's creation. Sixth dimension, everybody, people's imaginations. That's sixth dimension, right? So fifth dimension, imagination of just one person. One person's alternative universes. That's fifth dimension. Okay. Sixth dimension is all people's imaginations. Seventh dimension, imagination of God. Why? Because sixth dimension, no matter how many people there are, no matter how many imagination one each of them has, it's all creation of God. So sixth dimension is the world, physical world, like fourth dimension, and also imaginations of all people, and that's what God created. That's the metaphysical universe plus physical universe, which is only fourth dimension. Okay, sixth dimension is metaphysical universe. Every people's, all people's imaginations, and that metaphysically exists, and God created that. Now, seventh dimension is God's imagination. Sixth dimension, it encompasses physical and metaphysical world. Every single thought some person ever imagined, even if it's not published, it existed metaphysically in one person's head. It may not have been recorded or published, but it existed. One thought by one person somewhere at some point of time, it existed, maybe for a fraction of a second. Metaphysical existence of one idea of a person. Maybe it just existed for 1 second, but still it existed. And God created all that. Every single existence, physically or metaphysically, it existed for even for a fraction of a second, okay? And God created all that stuff, everything. Physical and metaphysical universe. So that's sixth dimension, up to sixth dimension. Okay, seventh dimension is God's imagination. He picked one, and that's the universe, both physical and metaphysical universe that he created. Okay, but God's imagination, he can imagine quite a bit, right? I'm pretty sure. I quoted from the Star Wars movie, Han Solo. Yeah. I'm sure God can imagine more than we can imagine. Okay? So out of many God's imagination, only one thing, he chose one, and that's the physical and metaphysical universe, the history of the physical and metaphysical universe, and there's only one of that. Okay, that's the physical and metaphysical universe. Yeah. The history. His story. Not our story, no, his story. Okay, and seventh dimension, God has many different imaginations, right? Many alternatives, but only one of those things that God's alternatives it ended up happening, and that's the history, and that's the determinism, humanological determinism. Okay, so likewise, you can imagine all different things. Okay, 1 second from now, my hand may go that way, that way, that way. Alternatives, right? Yeah, I can imagine things. Next minute, where will my hand be? Will be here, here, or here, or here, 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 here. I can imagine all those alternatives. What's going to happen in 1 minute, in the next minute, but only one thing ends up happening. Okay, so that's humanological determinism. Okay. Yeah. You can imagine in the past what may have happened, and but only one thing happened. Yeah, you can come up with theory. Okay, what happened? He said, she said. What really happened? People may have all different interpretation of the history, theories, but only one thing happened in the past. There's only one fact, one truth. Many theories about the past, many predictions about the future, but only one thing happened in the past, only one thing is happening right now, and only one thing will happen in the future. Okay, that's humanological determinism. Okay, you can imagine all you want, but there's only one truth in the past, present, and future. Okay, one real fact, truth, one real thing. Okay, all right. We'll stop and restart. Why? Because I said too many important things here. I cannot afford to lose this. All right, so we'll stop and restart. We'll take 5 minutes. Okay, so all right, see you soon.